students, I am Maria.
And I'm Garrett.
And this is Let's Talk in English. Today we have a fun, interesting story for you.
Right, a story lesson. Of course, a story is something you can watch or read, maybe in a movie or even a book. There are interesting characters that have to face some hard things.
That's right. Garrett, you mentioned character, and you mentioned about we can watch a story or read a story. If you are watching the story, then you will have actors.
That is true. Usually you will. Unless if it's like an animated thing, it'll be a little different. Well, in today's story, what are we going to watch? Well, this one is called The Princess and the Pea.
So here we know that one of the characters in the story is a princess.
One of them is a princess. But what do princesses have to do with peas? Friends, a pea is a little green vegetable. They're small and round. You usually eat a lot of them. Many kids don't like peas very much.
That is true. So this is an interesting title, and it is an interesting story too. Well, as we go through the story, be sure to look for the answer to our Find It question. The question is, what was the weather like when the girl came to the castle door?
What was the weather like when the girl came to the castle door? I wonder what the answer is. But friends, of course, it will be in this classic story.
Yes, and before we get into the story, Jack, can you go through today's keywords for us?
从前从前有一个年轻的王子。Once upon a time, there was a young prince. 名词 prince 就是王子。他想要娶一位真正的公主。He wanted to marry a real princess. 形容词 real 就是真正的，而 princess 就是公主。在一个风雨交加的夜晚，有人敲着城堡的大门，仆人打开门，看见一个女孩站在雨中。A servant opened the door and saw a girl standing in the rain. 名词 servant 就是仆人。女孩说自己就是公主，仆人呢就去向王后来报告。The servant went to the queen. 名词 queen 就是王后。
The Princess and the Pea. Small things can show a person's true character. Once upon a time, there was a prince. He wanted to marry a real princess. He traveled all around the world looking for one. He met many beautiful women. Each one said,
I'm a real princess.
I'm a real princess.
I'm a real princess.
I'm a real princess.
But something was always not quite right. None of them seemed like real princesses to him. He felt sad.
How will I ever find a real princess?
He asked himself, and he went home to his castle.
It's a classic story, so of course we start off with Once Upon a Time.
That's right. Many stories begin with once upon a time, and usually these stories are made up. They're just a fun story. Well, in this story, there was a prince, and a prince is the son of a king.
Right, the son of a king, and maybe a future king. Well, he wanted to marry a real princess. Now, princess is like a prince. It's the daughter of a king and queen.
That's right. Well, he didn't want to marry just any princess. He wanted a real one. And real is, she's not fake. She's not pretending or acting, but she actually is a princess, a real princess.
Right, her parents really are the king and queen of some place. Well, this prince traveled all around the world looking for a real princess. And he did meet many beautiful women.
Yes, they said, I'm a real princess, but something was always not quite right.
Not quite right. This means things were almost right, but they weren't. Let's go to Jack for more.
年轻的王子想要娶一位真正的公主来做他的新娘，而他遇见的每一位少女都跟他说自己就是真正的公主，但是王子总是觉得有哪里不对劲。But something was always not quite right. 这里的 not quite 加形容词就是还不太如何，或是还没完全怎么样，语气上比较委婉。副词 quite 表示相当或是完全的意思，加上 not 之后呢，用来说明某件事还差那么一点。来看个例句 ：The answer is not quite right. 这个答案不太正确，或是 I'm not quite sure about the time. 我不太确定时间。还有 The job is not quite finished. 这工作还没完全做完。
Thanks, Jack. Well, none of these princesses seem like real princesses. And this prince asked, how will I ever find a real princess?
That's right. He was feeling sad and he went home to his castle.
He went home to his castle without finding his princess. In any story like this, it does feel like a prince should have a princess.
Yes, and that's why he was feeling very sad he couldn't find her. But will he find her?
Let's go find out in the next part of our story.
One stormy night, someone came to the castle door. Bang, bang, bang! A servant opened the door and saw a girl standing in the rain. Water ran down her hair, off her dress, and onto the ground, and her shoes were muddy.
Who are you?
He asked, surprised.
I'm a princess.
The girl said.
May I stay here for the night?
I will need to ask.
The servant answered.
Please, wait right here.
Ooh, the story continues. And friends, it's time for us to answer our Find It question. What was the weather like when the girl came to the castle door?
And the answer was, it was stormy. One stormy night, someone came to the castle door, and of course that was the princess.
Yes, it was stormy, so the weather was bad. Maybe a lot of wind and rain.
Yes, a lot of rain, because when the servant opened the door, he saw a girl standing in the rain, and a servant is someone who helps people do things.
Yeah, a servant often works for a king or queen. Well, water ran down this person's hair, the person coming in through the door.
Yes, that's the princess. It ran down her hair, off her dress, and onto the ground, and her shoes were muddy. Muddy is where it has mud on them, on her shoes.
Right, like wet dirt. Okay, now we want to learn more about that last sentence. Here's Jack to help us.
在风雨交加的夜晚，一个女孩站在雨中，敲开了城堡的大门。雨水从她的头发滑落，流下她的洋装，然后滴到地上。Water ran down her hair, off her dress, and onto the ground. 本句中使用了3个介系词片语来描述出雨水流动的景象。这样的描述呢，使口语的表达会更具有画面感。我们来学这种描述方式，像是 The ball rolled down the hill, off the road, and into the pond. 球从山坡滚下，离开道路，掉进池塘里。或者是 Rain rolled down the window, off the glass, and onto the ground. 雨水沿着窗户滑下，落出玻璃，滴到了地板上。还有一句 Snow fell down the roof, off the edge, and into the yard. 雪从屋顶滑下，掉出边缘，落在院子里。
Thank you, Jack. All right, I think we know who this person was. Maria told us a moment ago. She says she's a princess.
That's right, and she wants to stay for the night. The servant says, I will need to ask. Please wait right here.
Yeah, if you stay somewhere for a night, that means you sleep there. You spend your time there, but it's not the place where you live. Please wait right here.
And please wait right here is today's calendar phrase.
Please wait right here.
Please wait right here.
请在这里稍等。
Hello, how can I help you?
I came to see the doctor.
Please wait right here.
I need to see the doctor.
Please wait right here.
It's important.
Please wait right here.
I'm very, very sick.
Oh no! Please wait outside. Ooh.
Please wait right here.
Please wait right here.
请在这里稍等。
All right, friends, sometimes you need to wait for permission or for someone to allow you to do something.
Yes, that's right. The servant went to ask if she could stay the night.
Now, friends, let's go and take a quick break. We'll be right back just after this.
Let's talk in English. 10 minutes every day. That's the way.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. You know, stories like this are kind of fun, and part of that is because there aren't very many princes and princesses these days.
That's right. It's fun to imagine about stories like this. There are not very many nowadays.
That is true. Well, will this princess be a real princess for that prince? That's the question we want to know. Let's get back to our story.
The servant went to the queen.
There is a girl at the door. She is asking to stay the night. She is a princess. Well, she says that.
We'll see about that.
Said the queen.
Bring her to me.
When the girl came into the room, the queen looked at her. The girl was sweet and pretty.
You may stay.
The queen told her.
Is she a real princess?
The queen said to herself.
We'll find out.
Remember, that servant needs to ask someone first before the princess can stay the night. So the servant goes to the queen.
The queen is the wife of the king, and he lets her know there is a girl at the door. She wants to stay the night.
And we know that she is a princess. Well, the servant says one more thing. She says that. They're not sure if she's a real princess.
Yes, and the queen says, we'll see about that. Bring her to me so she can go into the castle now.
Yeah, she can come in, and the queen looks at her. What does she see?
Well, she sees that the girl is very sweet and pretty, even though she does have mud on her shoes.
Yes, she is still sweet and pretty. So the queen says, you may stay. She can stay in their home. But she still wonders, is she a real princess?
Is she a real princess? The queen says, we'll find out. She has a plan.
She does have a plan. If you're going to find something out, you want to find out, or you want to know, what's really going on. What is the truth?
Yes, well, we will find out more about that tomorrow to see if she really is a real princess. Before that, let us review our keywords.
Here's your first keyword for today. Prince. Prince. The prince lives in the castle.
Real. Real. Everyone needs real friends.
Princess. Princess. The princess was good and kind.
Servant. Servant. The servants helped the guests.
Queen. Queen. Everyone listens to the queen. Friends, those are today's keywords. They're very useful when you're telling a story or having a good conversation. Keep on learning.
Yes, and now let's go back and watch our story again.
The Princess and the Pea. Small things can show a person's true character. Once upon a time, there was a prince. He wanted to marry a real princess. He traveled all around the world looking for one. He met many beautiful women. Each one said,
I'm a real princess.
I'm a real princess. I'm a real princess.
I'm a real princess.
But something was always not quite right. None of them seemed like real princesses to him. He felt sad.
How will I ever find a real princess?
He asked himself, and he went home to his castle. One stormy night, someone came to the castle door. Bang, bang, bang! A servant opened the door and saw a girl standing in the rain. Water ran down her hair, off her dress, and onto the ground, and her shoes were muddy.
Who are you?
He asked, surprised.
I'm a princess.
The girl said.
May I stay here for the night?
I will need to ask.
The servant answered.
Please, wait right here.
The servant went to the queen.
There is a girl at the door. She is asking to stay the night. She is a princess. Well, she says that.
We'll see about that,
said the queen.
Bring her to me.
When the girl came into the room, the queen looked at her. The girl was sweet and pretty.
You may stay,
the queen told her.
Is she a real princess?
The queen said to herself.
We'll find out.
Welcome back
to Chit Chat.
We need to review the words from our story.
Yes. First, who are the people who live in a castle?
You mean the king and the queen?
Yes. Who else?
The prince?
Yes, and the princess.
That's right. Today, in the story, a prince was trying to find a real princess.
A girl came to the castle door. She was muddy, but she said, I'm a princess.
The queen was not sure. She said, we'll see about that and we'll find out.
So, is she a real princess?
We'll see about that.
But I want to know.
Wait until tomorrow. We'll find out.
See you tomorrow, I guess.
Hi friends, I'm Gabe. Welcome to Gabe's Game. Were you listening carefully to today's story? Of course you were. So you will do very well in my game. Are you ready? Good. Here's question number 1. True or false? The prince is looking for a good servant. Think carefully. The prince is looking for a good servant. I hope you said false. The prince has a good servant already. The servant opened the door, remember? But who is the prince looking for? That's right. The prince is looking for a real princess, and I hope that he finds one. Well, here's question number 2. Where does the prince live? Does he live A, in a castle, B, in a house, C, on a boat, or D, with a mouse? I hope you said A, in a castle, and I hope there is not one mouse in that castle. Well, in the story, a girl came to the castle. Here is question number 3. What were the girl's shoes like? A, they were pretty. B, they were clean. C, they were muddy. Or D, they were green. Pretty, clean, muddy, or green. If you said C, they were muddy, you are right. Okay, that's all from me for today. Make sure that you join me every week for Gabe's Game. See you next time.
All right, Maria, so this story is an interesting one. The prince wants to find a real princess, and his mom, the queen, wants to help out. But how could they do that?
Yeah, I wonder what her plan is. How will she find out if this sweet, pretty girl is a real princess or not?
Yeah, do they just need to go and ask who her mom and dad are? Well, of course, this is sort of, we call it a fairy tale story. It's more special, so they might have a special way to figure out who a real princess is.
Yes, maybe they will have a little test to see if she is a princess or not. Well, friends, be sure to join us again tomorrow to find out what they did to figure out if she was a real princess or not.
Yes, we will find out tomorrow. Now, if you want to learn more about princes and princesses in today's world, try looking it up online. There are some countries that still have kings and queens. They're not all gone.
That's right. And also we learned about the castle, which is where people lived long ago. You can also visit a castle in real life.
Right, there are still lots of those around that you can visit. Well, friends, we hope you can join us again tomorrow. Of course, that's right here on
Let's Talk in English. Goodbye.